Let me guess. Someone, a parent, a coworker, a financial magazine, told you that you need $1 million to retire. Maybe you believed it. Maybe you wrote that number in the back of your mind somewhere and decided it was your target. And here's what I want to tell you today, that number is almost certainly wrong. Not in the way you think. It might be too high for you. It might be dangerously too low. The problem isn't the number, the problem is that nobody told you how to calculate your number. They just handed you someone else's. I'm not here to hype you up. What I'm going to do in the next 15 minutes is show you the actual math in plain English, using a real example you can follow step by step. By the time this video ends, you will know your retirement number. Not a guess. A calculation. Let's get into it. The myth. Here's how most people approach retirement planning. They pick a number, usually $1 million, and start saving toward it. And the question nobody asks them is, why $1 million? Most retirement advice is built around income. Save 10% of your salary. Put away 15%. These are income-based rules, and income is the wrong variable. The right variable is your spending. How much do you actually need to live your life the way you want to live it? Your retirement number is not an arbitrary target. It is a math problem. And math has a right answer. The 4% rule. In 1998, researchers at Trinity University published a study that changed retirement planning forever. They asked, what is the maximum percentage of your portfolio you can withdraw every year and never run out of money? The answer was 4%. Take your annual spending and divide it by 0.04. That's your retirement number. $30,000 per year equals $750,000 needed. $50,000 per year equals $1.25 million. $80,000 per year equals $2 million. Your number isn't fixed. It moves based on your spending. Meet Marcus. Marcus is 32, earns $75,000, spends $3,500 per month equals $42,000 per year. $42,000 divided by 0.04 equals $1,050,000. If Marcus cuts $500 per month, new spending equals $36,000. New number equals $900,000. One decision saves him $150,000, and years off his working life. Every dollar of monthly spending adds $300 to your retirement number. Early retirement math. Retire at 65 using 4%, Marcus needs $1,050,000. Retire at 50 using 3.5%, $42,000 divided by 0.035 equals $1,200,000. Retire at 40 using 3.25%, $42,000 divided by 0.0325 equals $1,292,000. Early retirement is not just a savings problem, it's a lifestyle design problem. Reality check. 3 things that break the math. 1. Inflation. $42,000 today costs $75,800 in 20 years at 3% inflation. 2. Healthcare. Average couple spends $315,000 on healthcare in retirement. Early retirees face 15 years without employer insurance. 3. Sequence of returns risk. Retiring in a down market can permanently damage your plan. Solution. Keep 1 to 2 years of expenses in cash as a buffer. 3 moves. Move 1. Calculate your actual number today. Monthly spending times 12 divided by 0.04. Write it down. Move 2. Close your spending gap. Every $1 cut monthly removes $300 from your target and frees $1 to invest. Move 3. Automate investments into low-cost index funds the day after your paycheck lands. Not hacks. Just math. Reframe. The goal is not to hit a number. The goal is to reach a point where working is optional. Financial independence means every day you show up to work, it's because you choose to, not because you have to. That shift is available to anyone who understands the math and makes intentional decisions over time. The promise. This is the 80-70-60 rule. It's the retirement plan you've probably never heard of, and it might just be the key to enjoying your wealth without outliving it. This isn't about a single, static number. It's a dynamic, phased approach that adapts as you age. It's a framework that replaces that vague fear in the pit of your stomach with structured clarity. It gives you permission to live your retirement, not just survive it. By the end of this video, you won't just see the cracks in your current plan, you'll know exactly how to build a new one that's more realistic, more flexible, and frankly, a lot more human, the promise. This is the 80-70-60 rule. It's the retirement plan you've probably never heard of, and it might just be the key to enjoying your wealth without outliving it. This isn't about a single, static number. It's a dynamic, phased approach that adapts as you age. It's a framework that replaces that vague fear in the pit of your stomach with structured clarity. It gives you permission to live your retirement, not just survive it. By the end of this video, you won't just see the cracks in your current plan, you'll know exactly how to build a new one that's more realistic, more flexible, and frankly, a lot more human. Section 1, The Flaw in Conventional Wisdom. So, where did we even get this bizarre idea of flatline spending? For decades, standard financial advice has pushed an income replacement rate of 70 to 80%. If you earned $100,000 a year, the logic goes, you'll need about $80,000 a year for your entire retirement. And on the surface, it makes a little sense. The thinking is, once you retire, big expenses just vanish. You're no longer saving 15% for retirement itself. You stop paying payroll taxes. Your commute costs. Gone. You're not buying work clothes or paying professional dues. For many, the mortgage might finally be paid off, killing your single biggest bill. So, needing only 80% of your old income sounds pretty logical. It's neat, tidy, and has been the foundation of retirement planning for a generation. But here's the critical flaw, it assumes your life after 65 is one long, unchanging season. It's like planning a cross-country road trip and assuming you'll drive at exactly 60 miles per hour the whole way, ignoring rush hour in Chicago, winding mountain roads, and long stops to see the world's largest ball of twine. It's a nice theory that falls apart the second you hit the real world. The reality, which researchers and real-life experience confirm, is that retirement spending isn't a flat line. It looks more like a smile. It's a pattern called the retirement spending smile. Spending is highest in the early years of retirement, when you're healthy, active, and finally ready to do all the things you put off while you were working. Then, as you move into your mid-70s and 80s, your lifestyle naturally slows down, and spending tends to dip. Finally, in your later years, spending often ticks back up, driven almost entirely by rising healthcare costs. A plan built on a flat 80% rule ignores this. It starves you in your vibrant years to save for a future you may not want, only to potentially leave you underfunded when healthcare bills show up at the very end. It's a total mismatch between your money and your life. The 80-70-60 rule is designed to fix that. Section 2, Introducing the 80-70-60 rule, the pathway begins. So what is this rule, exactly? It's a phased spending framework. Instead of one flat rate, it breaks your retirement into 3 distinct stages, each with its own spending target as a percentage of your pre-retirement income. It syncs your spending with your life stages. Let's break it down. Phase 1, the go-go years, 80% spending. This first phase usually covers the first decade of retirement, from about 65 to 75. These are your most active years. You just retired, you feel great, and your bucket list is a mile long. This is the time for the European river cruise, for renting a beach house for the whole family, for that cross-country RV trip. You have the health and the energy, so your spending should reflect that. In this phase, you plan to spend about 80% of what you earned before retiring. If your household income was $100,000, you're planning for about $80,000 a year. This front-loads your retirement enjoyment, letting you use your money when you have the greatest capacity to enjoy it. Phase 2, the slow-go years, 70% spending. The second phase, from roughly age 75 to 85, is the slow-go years. Life naturally, and often comfortably, settles into a quieter rhythm. You're still active, but the pace changes. Maybe international flights are replaced with shorter trips to see the grandkids. Big adventures give way to local hobbies, community groups, and more time at home. Your spending just naturally declines. During this phase, you plan for spending to drop to about 70% of your pre-retirement income. In our $100,000 example, that's now $70,000 a year. This isn't about being cheap, it's about your plan reflecting a natural life transition. Phase 3, the no-go years, 60% spending. With a crucial catch. The third phase, from 85 on, has been bluntly called the no-go years. It doesn't mean life stops, but the day-to-day activities change. Big travel and entertainment expenses are rare. Life gets simpler. Your general spending can often fall to around 60% of your pre-retirement income, $60,000 in our example. But here is the absolute game-changing catch that makes this work: while your fun spending goes down, this is when healthcare costs can go way, way up. A responsible plan that uses the 60% rule for your lifestyle must have a separate and robust plan for healthcare. This could be a dedicated savings bucket, a long-term care insurance policy, or part of your portfolio specifically earmarked for medical needs. This acknowledges the other side of that spending smile, where costs can spike at the end, ensuring the 60% budget for your lifestyle doesn't leave you totally exposed. Section 3, let's run the numbers, a real-world example. Okay, theory is nice, but let's see how the math actually plays out. Meet John and Jane. They're 65, just retired from a combined income of $150,000 a year. Their house is paid off, and they've saved well. Under a conventional plan, they'd target 80% of their income, $120,000 a year, every single year for 30 years. Simple, but flawed. Now, let's apply the 80-70-60 rule. Step 1, calculate spending for each phase. Go-go years, 65 to 75. They plan for 80% of $150,000, which is $120,000 a year. They want to travel and help the grandkids. Slow-go years, 75 to 85. They slow down, and spending drops to 70% of $150,000, which is $105,000 a year. No-go years, 85 plus. Lifestyle spending is 60% of $150,000, which is $90,000 a year. Crucially, they have a separate long-term care policy to handle health shocks. Step 2, factor in other income. This is the step everyone forgets. Your portfolio doesn't have to do all the work. John and Jane waited to claim Social Security, and together they get $60,000 a year. This is their income floor. Step 3, calculate what they need from their portfolio. Now we can see the real pressure on their nest egg. Go-go years, they need $120,000, but get $60,000 from Social Security. They only need to withdraw $60,000 a year. Slow-go years, they need $105,000, minus their $60,000 Social Security. Their withdrawal drops to just $45,000 a year. No-go years, they need $90,000, minus $60,000 Social Security. Their lifestyle withdrawal falls to $30,000 a year. Step 4, compare this to the old way. The static plan required a $60,000 withdrawal every single year for 30 years straight. See what just happened? With the 80-70-60 rule, John and Jane spend the exact same amount as the old-school plan during their most active years. But in their mid-70s, their withdrawals drop by 25%. By their mid-80s, their withdrawals are half of what the static plan demanded. This is huge. Lowering withdrawals later preserves the principal, letting it grow and providing a much bigger shield against the risk of outliving your money. It also makes your portfolio way more resilient if the market takes a dive later in your retirement. By matching their spending to their life, they get more freedom early and more security late. What's your retirement number? Drop it in the comments. I do the math with people in the replies. Share this with one person who keeps saying they'll think about retirement later. Subscribe for weekly deep dives. No hype. Just math. I'll see you there.